Hey guys, this is Pearlmam, making amateurs out of noobs. Today I'm in my TigerP, which is a Tier 7 German heavy tank. It's a pretty good little tank. I kind of like it. It's kind of slow and doesn't maneuver really well, but it's got really good frontal armor here. 200 millimeters of frontal armor. The turret isn't so great, but you do end up bouncing a lot of shots. So it's a really good heavy tank in that regard. And also the gun's nothing to scoff at too. For a Tier 7, it's got, for normal armor piercing, 203 penetration and 240 damage. So it's a pretty good little tank, especially for a city like Himmelsdorf as the top tier. And so I have a pretty good game in this map. I do a couple things well. I find myself by the cap, if you look on the mini-map over here. And I'm not by myself, but I'm kind of, I have one other tank with me. And instead of just pushing out there and facing him front on, which would allow me to get flanked, I decide to hang back, and I do that really well. It takes a lot of patience not to do that, not to push forward like that. And then another thing I do well is I wait for my team. Once my team comes to me, then that's the right time to push. And also another thing I do well is I guard against Arty. I find myself in a situation where I'm flanked by Arty, and I do pretty well against that. So normally in a Tier 7, as a top tier heavy, you go to Tank Alley. If you look on the mini-map, which is right here, all you need is one good front armor tank right there. You need at least one, and generally as the top tier heavy, you have to go there. Basically, that's my rule. So here, this guy, he's just coming out, and instead of hanging there, because you can get shot from over here, I just drive forward. Because I know he's dead anyway, and so I leave it be. Now, nobody was there around that corner to shoot at me, but anyway, it's better to move instead of just allowing yourself to get shot. That guy was not a threat, so I just drove forward. So here I am in Tank Alley, and I got two other tanks with me, and nobody's at the cap. So I decide to leave my post. And of course somebody shows up right after I leave. But regardless, these two guys are alone, and that could be really, really dangerous, and it takes me a long time to get over there. So if another person caps right now, it could be really bad for us. So I leave my post and allow those other two guys to do it. So this field is pretty dangerous too. If you look on the mini-map, they can just push through, and especially with nobody there. So that's pretty dangerous too. So somebody should always be around here, but I'm more worried about the cap at the moment. It looks like our whole team just went up on the hill, which you need some people down in the valley here. But anyway, so I'm here seeing if I can spot maybe he's stupid and out in the open, which he almost was. And I hope that he comes out in the open again so I can shoot him. I don't know why he left the cap. Probably a mistake. So this is the moment where I start getting bored. I spot around the corner, nobody's there, and I really just want to go get that T-37. So I start to drive forward, but then I think twice at this moment, because I'm all by myself with this guy, right? Once I push forward around this corner, I can have good shots at him, and then the T-50 who is right here on the mini-map. So I would push forward, I would have shots on him, probably do damage, he would probably shoot at me, and then somebody would probably come behind me and flank me, and I would be dead. So I decide against it since I'm by myself. And so I pull back. Now the M4, this is great. He actually makes a pretty good move. Now that I'm here, I can accurately cover him as he pushes forward. Sure enough, he spots a guy, my would-be flanker. He would have murdered me. So a shot, no damage. And we can kill this guy. So we do. Now, I don't know why that T-50 comes this way. He should have came and flanked us, but regardless, he comes. I can do some damage. So there's something really stupid that M4 did. I paused it because he had no reason to push out like that. Why would he do that? He should have let him come out and then shot him. And then I could have shot him and probably killed him before he would even have got a shot off. So he pushes forward stupidly. This T-150's somewhat stupid too. He's going against, he's a tier 6. I have good armor. I use my track to make sure I can finish this guy off.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So here I have some help. That VK's behind me, so I decide to push out. This is a good time to push because he's covering my rear. So like just like I was covering the M4, he's covering me. So it's a pretty good thing. So I decide to push down this way instead of going to the cap. And right now they're kind of just being lemmings. They're just pushing out and just letting themselves die. So right now we're losing. They lost the hill, but I'm still here. So I think that we're going to get flanked. So I start to turn around, but then I guess I spot this guy.
Enemy is hit.
And I decide to try to finish him off. He's unspotted, but he's still there. This is not the... I maybe should have moved, but I might have like lost track of where he was. And I get lucky there. So the VK kills that light tank, and I kill the other one. Looks like he just got hit by Arty. So I decide to go cap. And sure enough, that T-25, he does a pretty good thing. He's right there. I take a missed shot. I shot right behind him. It was really unfortunate because he can do a lot of damage. And I'm driving along. I know Arty's there. And sure enough, he's there. And he shoots me. So here's where I defend against Arty pretty well. Instead of pushing out, and you'll see what I do. So I'm going to pause it right here. I would have to push all the way up here to kill him. It'd take me more than 20, 30 seconds to get over there. And that GW Panther would definitely have got a shot on me. He's sitting right here, probably. And it's a pretty short shot, so and it's an easy shot. The way the trajectory is, I have a GW Panther and I play it. Once again, I suggest even if you hate Arty, you should play Arty. But it's a pretty easy shot the way that trajectory is, the way I'm driving. Okay, especially in a slow tank like this. So he would just hit me right in the ass, possibly do full damage, which is around 1100 damage, especially from the rear. So I decide to just protect myself from Arty and hang here. Maybe he'll pop out, and I would need somebody to flank for me. Luckily, this M12 does an awesome job, and I want to pause it. Let's see here. I want to see what he does because he does a pretty good job. Whoops. And so he comes in there and does the flank. He just pops around that corner, as you can see him up here, and does a really good job. That's a pretty good job for the Arty, and I tell him that. So now that he's gone, I can start to push out. I can get out of there and face my frontal armor towards where I think everybody is. I decide to cap. T-67 says cap, and I'm like, yeah, I'll cap. So I worry about getting spot. So I go behind here. And I'm just watching. I mean, it's no good to sit like that because you can't spot. So you might as well show a little bit of frontal armor and spot. I expect him to come out there. So now I'm in a situation where that Emerald's probably going to come in. He used to be, what did that tank used to be called? Dicker Max or something? No, I forget. Syphilis. I don't even remember the name, but that was the name on the street. But anyway, I expect him to come out there. So right now, I'm behind the house because I expect to get. I want to protect myself from Arty, and I have my frontal armor protecting me from this guy coming here. So now that the GW Panther on the minimap is spotted here, I decide to get better cover from that St. Emerald, and he gets the jump on me and does damage there. So good job on him. You know, that's all I could do. So he shows himself and just gets shot a lot. So here I decide to leave the cap. The game's pretty much won to get my more experience. So I do leave the cap. I expect to catch him off guard, but he catches me off guard. He's faster than I thought he was. We both miss. That car saved my ass. And I know he has a 30-second reload, so I just take my time aiming. And he has no armor. You can aim pretty much anywhere, and I kill him off.
They're knocked out.
So that was a pretty good match. I didn't really do that much damage, as you can see, and I'll show you. So here's the sum up of the score. I got 1,108 experience, which is pretty good. And I only did 2,000 damage, but I got 5 kills. And that's enough. In a tier 7 match, that is enough for high caliber. So I did pretty well there, you know, just by hanging around, just by staying alive. It was a pretty good match. I guarded against Arty. Also, I didn't push out by myself. Never push out by yourself. Wait for your team to come. And that was the goal of showing this replay. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.